Great morning, class. This is for grade 10 physics, and we shall be looking at friction. Objective: explaining the meaning of friction, identify the types of friction as well. 1. Friction is a force that opposes relative motion between systems in contact. Friction is a force that opposes relative motion between systems in contact. First, talk about your leg and the ground. There's a friction between your legs, your feet, and the ground that makes you walk effectively and stand effectively. When you are rubbing your hands, there's a friction within your two palms that enables you to rub your hand and it generates heat. When you're on motion driving, there's a friction that brings you to stop, and there's a friction that takes you to start your journey. Types of friction. There are basic 4 types of friction. 1 is static friction, sliding friction, rolling friction. 4, fluid friction. We'll talk about this explanatorily when we get in class. What are the merits of friction? 1, it helps us walk on the ground. Like I said before, friction enables you to stand firmly and walk on the ground without falling. 2, brakes in a car makes use of friction to stop the car. You see, if there's no friction, imagine how you go to CV without stopping. You drive and fly out of the way. You even start flying. So with friction, you can stop. Friction prevents us from having accidents, especially when we are driving cars or truck. It helps in the generation of heat when we rub our hands. You see, when you rub your hands, it generates heat. When you rub your hands, it generates heat. That is the effect of friction. It is the heat that shows you what the friction does when you rub your palms together. There is change of environmental structure. That's what it's trying to tell you. And demerits of friction. The force of friction acts in the opposite direction of motion. So friction slows down the motion of moving objects. You see, for example, you are playing football. When you kick a ball to perhaps the north direction, there's a certain speed it gets to. It starts slowing down and then stops. What slows it down? What stops? It is the friction on the body of the ball, and also the friction of the field that is stopping the football from continuously moving. That is the effect of friction. It also stops moving objects. It stops moving objects like a car. A brake in the car stops moving objects, and there's an effect. So instead of floating straight, no intervention, no external force coming to stop you, but friction will always be there to stop you based on its function. So forest fires are caused due to the frictions between trees. As I was saying, forest fires are caused due to the friction between trees. Forest fires are caused by human at first. Then because of the closure of these branches of the tree, it moves from one tree to the other and from another tree to the other. Friction brings about the relationship between two trees, whereby some branches will go into the other branches of the tree, while the other branches of the tree goes into the other. And then when fire comes in, it burns from the first one onto the second one because of the branches leading to the other one. That is one of the disadvantages. A lot of money goes into preventing friction and the usual wear and tear caused by it by using techniques like greasing and oil. Do you know how much you pay for greasing and oiling of a car or a machine? Especially some high deep machines, massive machines for massive productions. there is so much amount of money that you pay for the tear and wearing of these rotating parts of the engine, like the pulley, the belts, the chains. You have to keep oiling the engine as well, maintenance, otherwise it will break down in a short period of time. So because of the constant maintenance of these parts of the machine, brings about the expensive nature of the resources. Thanks for watching, and I believe you understand what I've just said. Read your books and respect your elders, your teachers, and your mom. Thanks.